The thing with Rubick is that he's honestly not that good a support hero as a solo support.
Yeah,
Rubick is when you play solo support, you're not even playing position 5. You're playing position 6 almost. Like you're
yeah,
playing a very self-sacrificial hero. And Rubick, the issue with Rubick is that if you look at his spells, if you look at his actual spells, he doesn't have that much. Like he's got a sort of a stun.
yeah.
Uh,
No, yeah, no control spells. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
Sure.
like he's got a stun, which is a single target stun. It doesn't do any damage at all. It is a fair bit of like duration. It's 2.2 seconds at level at max level, but it's really not 2.2 seconds. Really not that much. Like if you look at any other hero with a single target spend, let's take Lion for instance.
Yeah,
He's got a single target stun, which is 2.6 seconds, but it does 260 damage. Same goes for um, a hero like Vengeful Spirit. Like she's also got a 1.8 second stun, and it does 325 damage, like 300 roughly 300 nuke. So this guy does the stun, and it actually does not do any damage at all. And the bigger issue is that it's a 22-second cooldown. The 22-second
yeah,
cooldown is a huge amount. Like if you look at once again, if you go back, Benji's stun is 10 seconds, half, literally half. Lion's stun is 11 seconds, 12 seconds.
six. Yeah,
Once again, half almost. Like every person has this guy as a stun, which is multiple people stun. Much longer, could be much longer than 2 seconds, and it's does damage as well. 14 seconds. Like nobody has this humongous cooldown on a
yeah,
stun
yeah.
that doesn't even do damage, so it's pretty huge. And then his second ability is a nuke, a chain nuke, which is very decent. But to be very honest with you, by the time, because you're going to level this up first, right? And you're going to level this up, by level 7, you're going to be
Yeah.
4-1-1-1, right? And really, by level 8 or 9 is when you're actually going to start leveling up Fade Ball. So that means by level 8 or 9, we're already like 17, 18, 19, 20 minutes in. By that time, really, this nuke is only doing damage to the supports
Yeah.
because the cores are
And
going to have HP and items.
and what about why I have to leveling up? In fact, I leveling up the chain bolt in the first place. Is it a mistake? Because uh, I don't know. I'm maybe two points in the first skill, and I try to max the chain bolt. In fact, because
If you max the chain bolt, and if you look at your mana pool, you don't
yeah,
actually
yeah,
have the mana to actually use a chain bolt multiple times. You actually don't have mana to use telekinesis more often either. But the thing is, to actually use mana bolt effectively, you really have to use it multiple times.
yeah,
And you don't have the mana to support that. Whereas with telekinesis, you're at least enabling your cores. You're setting up your kills with your
yeah.
cores to do something. But with just this, maxing it out. Yes, when you're playing four position Rubick, when you have another support with you, then yeah, you can think about maxing this out first because you've got the mana, you're getting the gold, you're getting items, you're gonna have more mana pool and all that. You have to make plays and whatnot, so it'll work out. But not when you're playing this sixth position, who's not
Yeah.
gonna get any gold and not gonna get any XP, and it's just all around. Rubick is not at all a good solo support hero. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even a good 5 position. He's a good 4 position. And as we just discussed with both of these abilities, they're pretty shit abilities, let's be honest. And this ability is okay, but this is also not that great. Because because the range is 900. Like, if this range for Nullfield was 1500, then that was great. But the problem with
Okay.
900 range is that
Small.
900 range is something like about this much, about
Yeah.
this much. So usually you're not this close to your allies in a team
Of
fight.
course. Yeah. You have to
So
be behind.
yeah, you have to be far behind. So it's not that awesome either. Really, the main objective of Rubik is this. This is what makes Rubik a hero, even. And obviously, this depends on what you have in the enemy team. And
Yeah.
unless you
Yeah.
have
Sure.
something amazing in the enemy team, and unless that something amazing is an item that is a skill, ability that you can quite easily steal every single time, something like Enigma's Black Hole, something like what do you call it, Doom's Doom. Tide Hunter's ult is really tough, but you cannot do that. But that's not something that I would say that okay, that's That's why you pick Rubick. But Bloodseeker's ult is pretty decent as well to steal. Juggernaut's ult is
Yeah,
sort of easier to steal. Crystal Maiden's ult is really easy to steal because she's just going to stand there and you're
yeah,
not going to be stunned or anything. Lina's ult is pretty amazing. So you really don't want to be stealing. The main thing that you need to worry about in the team fight in the mid game when playing Rubick is you definitely don't want to be hasty when using your spell steal because once
yeah,
again in a team fight you're most likely not going to steal more than one spell. So you're before a team fight you're going to have one spell, so you're going to use that one spell. Most likely it's going to be a big spell, hopefully, which is going to be like 50-second cooldown or something like that. So you're not going to use that spell again. So you want to steal another spell in a team fight. So that is where a good Rubick and a bad Rubick are different. A good Rubick will be patient and he will try
yeah.
to steal an important spell, and if he can't steal an important spell, then he's not going to steal a spell, right?
Okay, yeah.
Whereas a bad Rubick will just steal the first spell that he can get. So
Yeah,
float.
that's why I picked it here because of the enemy team.
Left. Oh, you missed a kill opportunity right there. So what you should have done is, okay, fine, this guy has vision on you, but he doesn't have vision on this guy. So what you should have done
Yeah,
is
yeah,
right here you should have lifted him because he's gonna see the Legion commander and then he's gonna probably back off.
yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of rune contest, but because you were actually able to bring down the Bloodseeker that low, I guess it's okay. Well, let's go back and look at it. There's a few things that we want to look at actually before we get started. First of all, your items. Now, let's see. Did you buy the courier? You did buy the courier. That's fantastic. So with your first item, gold, you bought the courier. You bought. Did you buy 2 boards or 1 board?
I think 2 words.
Okay. So you bought 2 boards, pretty standard. You bought tangos. You gave some tangos to the mid lane, pretty standard. You bought a clarity, which is also pretty standard, and then you bought a wand. I
Yeah.
don't know why you bought a wand because there's no. The only time you want to buy a wand with your starting items if you can guarantee that there's going to be a Bat Rider or a Bristleback or a Tide
Bristol. Yeah.
Hunter in the off lane, and even against a Tide Hunter, you don't want to guarantee because there's a possibility that you can zone out the Tide Hunter. So you want to wait with the Magic Stick to guarantee. You can save the gold, that's fine. And then later on, once you have guaranteed that okay, that it's an offlaner who spams spells, so now I'm gonna buy the magic stick, so it's gonna be useful. Because right now
Okay.
the only issue here is that you actually don't have any movement speed at all. You would like to have a windlace to start off with. It really helps a lot, and also what do you call it? Windlays. Yeah, that's pretty much it. One clarity, once again, not that much. I mean, it's okay, but as we discussed, his cooldown, his spell costs are huge. So once you use one spell, you don't really have that much mana to work with. So you really want to have some extra clarities. But at the end of the day, all in all, it's not that bad. But the biggest issue is really the magic stick. Would have been okay if you'd saved 200 gold here and then later on got the magic stick. Now over here, I like the fact that you contested the rune, but what I don't like because you guys were clearly 4 versus 2, so this is all fine. But what I don't like is you going and right clicking the Bloodseeker all by yourself. Now let's look at this comparison. Bloodseeker is at 200 HP, right, and you are at 500. You were at 580 HP, right? So 200. Let's look at it again. When you went up there and went into all 1v1 situation, 216. So 216 versus max HP. So let's see at the end of this engagement where we are, right? And
Yeah.
even though the puck came in, right, you lost what is it? 400, roughly
400.
470,
Yeah.
470 HP. That's like I don't know, 85% of your HP. He was 216. He's 93. He lost like what?
100. Yeah.
110, 120 HP. 120 versus nearly 500 HP. that is just not worth it. That is just
Yeah.
horrible. So you should not have been right click trading against a Bloodseeker who's got thirst. It doesn't matter if he has blood rage or thirst because he's gonna do shit tons of damage to you. You have horrible DPS, and on top of that, he's actually got a poor man shield as well, which actually blocks well, chance to block, but it gives him armor as well. And you look at your armor, you've got one armor. So all in all, you were dealing something like, actually, we can check exactly how much you were dealing. You were fresh. You were dealing 23 damage per hit, right?
Yeah.
To the Bloodseeker, right? And the Bloodseeker was dealing its range creeps was Alright, so the Bloodseeker was dealing something like six. Bloodseeker was dealing 3 times more
Yeah.
damage to you, and it was also increasing because the lower your HP gets, the more damage he gets. So that is something that you actually wasted a lot of time, and that's something that you should have known, right? You don't
Yeah.
go and right click trade a core like that as a Rubick. So you definitely wasted now. It's like 1 minute 30 seconds, 1.5 minutes, and it's going to be nearly 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes in. You don't have any experience at all.
Yeah.
What is going on here? Restart the test. So 2 minutes in, you don't have any XP because you decided to right click trade with the Bloodseeker, and you didn't even have a salve. If you'd had a salve, that would have been decent, but that was just not, very.
It's not worth it. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Coming back to the scenario now, lane wise, it's a pretty tough lane. You're not going to actually get much done in this lane because you've got a Bloodseeker who's just going to keep regioning up, and you've got a Windrunner who has no. You can't really kill her because she has Windrun, so you guys don't actually have nukes. You can't actually kill her, and she's not using Windrun, and she uses Windrun, and you can't. So that's it. Wow, she turns around. And that's a kill opportunity. And you actually killed her because she was an idiot. So never mind.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, she turned around after she'd already used Windrun. So I don't know why she did that, but well. Alright. So what you need to be doing this lane, normally you wouldn't have been able to kill these guys if they're even half decent. But what you definitely should be doing is you should be stacking this small camp, and pulling it constantly. That's what you want to be doing. Staying in this lane, babysitting, you can't babysit, right? If you're a healer like a Dazzle or Omni Knight, that makes a different story. That you're sitting in this lane waiting for. Even then, you can go stack and pull, come back. The PA will have lost half her life. You use your spells, you get her back to full HP, and then you go back. So staying in this lane, all you're doing is you're leeching XP from your carry. And what's going to happen is, come 10 minutes, come 12 minutes, your carry is going to be level 5. And 10 minutes in, your carry isn't even level 6 because you were sitting down in his lane leeching XP. And the Legion Commander is coming in occasionally as well, leeching XP. And the Bloodseeker has got Blood Rage, denying all the creeps. So you're really giving your carrier a hard time getting like XP wise. Okay. Another big thing is that you actually used Fate Bolt earlier, but you didn't use it at this point. You lifted him. You lift him, you use Fate Bolt immediately because what Fate Bolt does is for 10 seconds, it reduces at level 1, it reduces the damage by 20. And 20 damage is quite a lot because this guy is right now, dealing 120 damage, so he would be dealing 100 damage. It actually doesn't really matter. Well, yeah, it does. It does matter.
Yeah.
Because instead of 2 hits, he needs 3. Sorry, instead of 3 hits, he needs 4 hits to kill you, or is it 2 hits, 3 hits, something like that. 1 extra hit. So maybe you could have killed him there. You probably would have still died, right? You probably still would have died, but maybe you could have killed him. You guys could have killed him.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving forward. You go back to the lane. Oh my god! Let's go back a little bit. See why you didn't nuke the Bloodseeker. Yeah, you definitely should have nuked the Bloodseeker. You should have nuked the Bloodseeker and lifted him. The reason for that
Yeah.
is because he's the fast one. This guy is not fast. You killed the Windrunner. I think you're gonna kill the Bloodseeker. Oh my god, the Bloodseeker actually killed him. Yeah. Okay, that's that should have happened. Alright. So far, 5 minutes in, you have bought a board, but you don't still. Just get windlays. You don't need boots because you need to upgrade the courier. You need to buy boards, this and that.
Yeah.
It's really tough to actually get your boots, even though they're really cheap. But it's still really hard to get those boots. So just get the windlays, and that will be enough for you for a very long time. All right. To be honest, this magic stick has really worked well for you because
Yeah.
there's like constant fighting, constant fighting. People are just throwing spells left, right, and center. So magic stick was pretty decent, but I still would have liked you to get it later on with your 200 gold from the side shop. Alright. Getting some kills, your team's getting lots of kills. There are 3 wards in the base, so it's more important always. It's more important to get wards than boots. Now let's look at this scenario. Boots versus wards. Boots will give you movement speed. Wards will give 5 people vision on the map.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What your purpose as a support is in a game is to make sure that your team gets through to the first 15 minutes of the game. After the first 15-ish minutes, then you can start being greedy. And to be perfectly honest with you, after 15 minutes, if you steal your carry's farm a little bit here or there, you use your Fate Bolt to nuke down a few creeps, completely fine. Because the carry needs assistance in the early levels, and that's what your purpose is. You want to sacrifice everything.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put down wards, even if it means that 7 minutes in you still don't have brown boots. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You need the wards. More important, because if your carry, if you are going slowly here and there, it's inefficient. Yes, but at the end of the day, if your carry dies, that's a lost game. Whereas you walking to the lanes a bit slower, or the route a bit slower, or here and there a little bit slower, or you can't chase people down a bit slower,
Yeah.
or if people are
It
chasing
doesn't
you,
matter. Yeah.
yeah, or if people are chasing you and you die, doesn't matter that much. What matters is that your carry has vision and he doesn't die. So having salves as well sometimes is beneficial. Like in this lane, it was a hard lane, so what you want to get a salve for is to salve up your carry, not yourself, because at the end of the day, you have absolutely no healer on your team. There's no defensive person in your team, and you guys have a PA who is like not at all a defensive. Like she doesn't really have any escape. It's not an anti-mage or something who can just blink away or something like that, right? So you want to be helpful in that situation. Right. So far, a little bit completely missed this team, this
Yeah.
fight. So you came into this lane to maybe help out your teammates. Maybe they're calling out to you. But to be honest, if I was you, I wouldn't have come into this lane because you really need to be there for your carry. And what you need to do there is, because, as we already established, you don't do anything defensive. But what you do need to do is stack and pull. Make sure the
Yeah.
wave is far back. Make sure this carry is safe. Make sure you put a ward up here so that he has vision on if somebody's coming to gank him or not. Also, by this time, it's 6 minutes in. Any time now, Bloodseeker is going to be level 6. The first thing he's going to do is he's going to ult somebody. So you need a TP to make sure that if he ults somebody in the mid lane, you come here and save that person. And if he comes here, then you can try and save P. Now, when we talk about saving, all you can really do is lift him up and throw him down and fade bolt him. So it's not really a lot. You can't really do too much. So, but still, you want to try to do something, if possible.
It is no great matter.
Alright, let's see, where's what happened in this lane? So, they didn't have vision up here. Maybe they wouldn't have gone on this lean. No, never mind. They had vision. The puck had vision, and she still decided. So
It is no
it's completely puck's fault.
matter.
Poorly played. I mean, if you were any other hero, you would have had another stun by this time, and you would have stunned the Lina, and your ally would have been lived. So, yeah. Another thing on Rubick is that Rubick is quite level dependent. You want to get your level 6 as quickly as possible, so you can't really go around to the base. Like, you look at how much mana you have. You have still enough mana for 2 spells, but because you have literally no HP, you have no HP or mana regen items at all. Like, this is not a passive regen item. This is if there's spells, you'll get something, otherwise you won't. So you need something like, for mana regen, you need raindrops, a perfect mana regen item for you. And for HP regen, it's a tough one because I don't know what you're actually going to get. Well, Tranquil Boots, of course, actually. What the hell am I talking about? Tranquil Boots. I think the thing is, I haven't played Rubick in such a long time, so I'm not really like, I'm not sure. Because what I'm thinking is, do you actually get ground boots first, or do you actually get Ring of Health first? Because the thing is, like, movement speed wise, a Windlace is sufficient, but you really don't have any HP regen. And let's look at Rubick. Where is Rubick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 50%. Yeah, so brown boots. Look at that. I got brown boots. Okay, I got a pretty actually. Why do I have magic stick? Bat Rider. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sal's. I think this was a pretty decent game, to be honest. So I must not have required any. Does Pudge have a? Okay, Pudge. Nope. I don't know. Looks like this game Magic Stick was enough for me, and I got the 4-staff pretty late. So this is not a good game to look at probably. But I think Tranquil Boots has to be.
But if you have Tranquil Boots, I mean, what about the mana for your team? Because nobody built in Arcane Boots. There is a problem.
That's always going to be a problem on any hero. Like, even with heroes like Lion, right? Because you build Tranquil Boost. So yeah, so Ring of Region is pretty important, but I think I get by with Tangos for the most amount of time. You actually got a lot of damage here done to you as well. Like, you were quite aggressive in there. I guess that's another reason. But I think just tangos will be enough. So just get tangos. Restock on tangos. Just keep buying tangos. As we already established, because of his horrible mana pool, Tranquil Boots might not be always the best option. Let's have a look at what high level people build on this guy. Rubick. Is this not the right spelling?
No, it's not the right spelling. Rubick. I think it's CK.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's see. So mana boots, no region. Tranquil boot. Okay, so yeah. Tranquil boot, soul ring. That's a very common thing, actually. Tranquil boots and soul ring. That's something that you can think about. Yeah, tranquil boots quite common actually. So it's yeah. So Urn of Shadows, I don't agree with at all. Simply because you're not actually going to be close to that many fights.
Yeah. So it's not necessary.
Yeah, it's not that great, I think, because yes, the stats are nice, but you are not going to be that close to. Yeah, so Tranquils and Soul Ring is a pretty decent combination, and I think that if you are going to be in a game where you're going to get harassed a lot. Oh my goodness.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm coming down with something, I think. Yeah, if you're going to be in a game where you are going to get harassed by some ranged heroes or something like that, or passive spells or something, then you want to go for Tranquil Mana, Tranquil Boots and Soul Ring. and if not, then just go for mana boots. Now, in this game, I don't think you need Tranquil Boots because they really don't have that much harass potential on you. Like they're not really going to harass you that much, but you're just being harassed a lot. You're like, look at that. You were in this team fight and you took 0 damage. That's what I mean. That's how you should be playing. You're throwing down your spells and you're not taking any damage. That's perfect. Look at that. Entire team fight, you didn't take a single shred of damage. So that's why you don't necessarily need Tranquil Boots. You need Tranquil Boots when you have enemy PA,
Yeah.
a PA in the enemy team, or let's say, I don't know, an anti-mage on the enemy team, or something that's going to do damage to you from a distance without really trying too hard. Or, I don't know, what's that hero called? Necro? Necro, or,
Yeah, Necro.
yeah, Necro or Zeus, yeah, Zeus or something like this. That a Tinker. These guys, they're going to be doing damage to you without really trying. So that's when you want to build a Tranquil Boost. But in a game like this, you still have not taken any damage. You're literally throwing down your spells. You're right clicking people down, and nobody can touch you. This is the first time you took damage, and that's also from creeps. So you don't need Tranquils at all. Just a single set of Tangos will be sufficient for you. So I think it's all in how you play, really. So yeah, now TP out, TP out, TP out, just TP out. Okay. Okay. So you should have TP'd out. When you're up against a Bloodseeker, you just want to TP out as soon as you get ultied. That's just it. That's it. If you didn't want to go all the way back to base, what you could have done, tiny little trick, is that you could have just TP'd here, right to this tower. Because he would have seen you TPing, and then he would have backed off, most likely. And even if he does, he's diving under the tower to kill you, and you have got a pretty long duration stun, and one teammate is already here, another teammate is TPing in, and you don't get silenced. All great stuff, and you don't take any damage. So, and the ulti would have been off very soon. So, all great. Anyway, moving on. I think, to be honest, this was not a very great game to look at. I'm just going to skip ahead quickly to team fights, because this is not a game where we got a good understanding of what a support is supposed to be doing, and also because Rubick is not really a support who's going to be doing regular support stuff. So I want to jump forward and I want to look at what you do in team fights. Because as we said, like, it's 22 minutes and you literally, you got Blink Dagger. That's actually quite impressive. You've got 12 assists and 6 kills. That's amazing. Yeah. So right here, you pop your magic wand and TP out. I did it.
Okay.
Oh, well, it was worth it. That secret died. Let's jump a little bit forward. Your team still has not taken the top tier 1 tower. It happens. Alright, so here we go, team fight. First mistake that I see is that you guys are taking this tower and there is literally no vision around this area. So that's your job. You really needed to have a ward up here. If your team is pushing forward and you don't have a ward, tell them, remind them, guys, we don't have any vision here, so let's not fight. They may listen to you, they may not listen to you, but what you need to do is just ping the shit out of them and move back. Get your wards and then go forward. So because you don't have a ward here, you're going to get lots of surprise factors. Like you're going to be going on and killing somebody, suddenly boom, there's another person right behind him, or something like that. That's the first mistake. Alright, moving forward. You're going to get your blink cancelled. Oh, you didn't. Okay, that's good. Now you're detached from your team. Look at the positioning. Your team, okay. This puck is completely out of position. He's going to die, or he should die. The other two, this guy is not even with your team. These two people are on this side. You're away from these two. You should have been with these two guys above the race. You kind of blinked in because you were like, I don't want to get my blink cancelled. So I understand that, but I think that was a bit of a panic play from you. Also, as a support, it's your job to be concentrating on the map. What you really need to be concentrating is, you guys are pushing this tower. It's 30 minutes into the game. It's reaching. It's mid game is over. Now you're coming into the late game situation. You see your Clinks, and he's all the way alone here. He probably doesn't have TP boots, so you need to tell him, guys, wait for Clinks. Don't go here. Wait for Clinks. Let's go as 5. You need to tell your team, give your team direction, because you're the one who has to concentrate on these things. They're all cores. They're all focused on farming only. They don't care about anything else. So this is good that this happened, that you guys did disengaged. Puck died, as we already established, because he got out of position really badly. But really, at the end of the day, it's your job to tell your team, guys, let's group up as 5 and get back. Right, very nice. You can use lift and send people in a direction afterwards, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So you should have thrown him here closer to the sentry, because now, okay, so he died to a crit, but if he'd actually yielded himself slightly earlier or something, and there's a possibility that he would have, because he was just at the edge of the sentry vision. Literally, he was okay, I think sentry vision was at the edge. So anyway, black map. There are no wards. The sentries. Let's see how many wards there are. Maybe the enemy team have been. Okay, so looks like the enemy team has been dewarding a little bit. Wow, that was not good.
Yeah. Missed.
Yeah. You died for his death, so it's. But to be honest, what were you doing here? Honestly, you should be with your team, not just with one person. The thing with Puck is he's escaped. He's he's got escapes, right? So he's not really in that much trouble. But you, on the other hand, you actually have no escape, so you're gonna die every time. And really, at this point, you need to be close to your cores. So, although you guys got the Bloodseeker, which is pretty nice, I don't think that that's something that you should be happy about. And you see your cores died. Maybe if you'd been with them, could have been a different scenario. And this guy's dead as well. So once again, really no vision. No vision is really harming you guys right now. If you have vision, you see all these people coming in. Look at the surprise, constant surprise factor. People coming in from literally all sides of the map, right? So, and Shackle. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So only because you have no vision, your team is going forward. See, your team is. When you say you can't rely on your team, well, the thing is that you can't rely on your supports either, because the support should have had wards here. Now, the issue with your team is that they know that there's no vision here, but still they're deciding to fight outside outside the base. But the thing is, you're also there with them. So if you just stay here and you tell them, guys, stay here, stay on the high ground, don't chase. And if they start chasing, just scream at them, ping them, say, guys, please don't chase. We have no wards. I've got wards. Ping the wards out and say I'll put the wards down there later on. Just stay in base and let's fight later on and find high ground. So, yeah, not much you can do here. This game is lost. As far as you're concerned, to be very honest with you, I think your biggest mistake in this mid to late game is not having enough vision on the map. Which really harms your team. Oh, Jack was about to ulti you. He was mid animation as well. Yeah, so your positioning in teamfight is pretty decent. I like your positioning. It's very far back. You're using your spells. You're moving back. You're using your spells, moving back. It's very, very nice. Nice. Very nice. Very nicely done. I like it a lot. So team fight is probably your strongest suit. Your movements around in a team fight, your spell usage is pretty decent. It's just that your early game really suffered a lot, and your vision support. You need to get decent vision for your team. That's it. That's the bottom line. All right. Where were we?